Well, if you've not heard about all the excitement surrounding the upcoming Lionfish Derby, then you're definitely going to want to sit and listen to this very entertaining, interesting interview. And joining me right now, I have no stranger, Martha Wilkin Jills. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And we
Good
have our two
morning.
guests on Zoom. We'll be joining them shortly. But how did this concept started with the Lionfish Derby? How did you guys decide, let's do a Lionfish Derby?
Well, lionfish are a very invasive species, not just in Antigua. They're literally worldwide. Well, when I say worldwide, they're not invasive in the Pacific because they're Pacific fish. So it's not a problem for the Pacific area. But lionfish they think they probably were either released by people who had aquariums and suddenly discovered that the lionfish were eating all of their own fish in their aquarium, and so they either flushed them down the toilet or whatever, and they got into the Atlantic waters. And they have literally just grown and grown and grown. They're all the way from the east coast of the U.S. down to South America, and they've recently been discovered going into the Mediterranean. And they have a huge appetite. They eat a lot of fish, of our baby fish like snappers, groupers, all the good fish that we like to eat. So it became evident, this has been quite some years ago, that something had to be done to control them. And so initially that was hunting them one by one. Now scientists are trying to discover traps to catch them. There's even a submarine that they're trying to develop to suck them in to catch them, because the lionfish seem to be getting smart and are going deeper and deeper. And they are a serious problem to the environment. They're considered one of the worst invasive species around, and what they're doing to our marine environment. So we decided that we would find out in Antigua if we really do have a big lionfish threat and population. And the way to do that is to host a derby and to have a lot of fishermen going out and hunting them. So here we are.
I love the sound of that. And with your team getting together to organize this, was it easy?
No, it's been a challenge. The biggest challenge has been COVID, because this was initially planned for the June when Antigua locked down in the March. And we had everything in place, a lot of organizational efforts and all. And we're doing this with the support of generous donations of mainly private donors through the Mill Reef Club. There are some others who have been donors, but Mill Reef has donated roughly $35,000 US. And most of that is going to be going toward prizes that the lionfish hunters will get, and also chefs who are doing a chef's cook-off, and there's going to be a school children's poster contest. And for the hunters, so I don't get it wrong, I'm just going to look at my cheat card. The hunters who catch the most lionfish are going to get $3,000 US. That's $3,000 US. That's almost, what, $9,000 EC? So if you're out there and you spear the most lionfish, you're going to go home with a big cash prize. Second prize is $2,000 US, and then $1,000. And then there's prizes for the largest and the smallest. And then the chefs are going to, the first prize is $1,000 US, and then $750 and $500 US for second and third prize. And the school children who are painting in 3 different age groups, 5 to 8 years old, 9 to 13, and 14 to 18. The first prize is $500 US, so a little 6-year-old could win $500 US. That would be pretty awesome. And then $250 and $150 US. So we have some significant prizes. And we've also had the generous support of the Ministry of Tourism and the Honorable Max Fernandez, who have supported us from the get-go. They said, yes, this is an excellent idea. We will help support you, both in staff that have been helping plan everything and in other areas. And the big festival to celebrate this is going to be held in our beautiful historic Nelson's Dockyard, which is going to be a fabulous place for that to be happening.
And on what date are you looking at?
The festival is the culmination of the tournament. The hunters will be hunting on the Friday and Saturday, the 18th and 19th of November, so roughly 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
The festival will be the afternoon of Sunday, November the 20th, in the dockyard between 1 and 5. and it is going to be so exciting. Everybody should come out to the dockyard, because not only are we going to have, well, the hunters will be there who've won the prizes, because the big prize giving will be at 4:30 that afternoon. And the Honorable Max Fernandez is going to present the prizes for us. And we will have chefs doing a cook-off from 5 of our top hotels. Their task, each of the 5 chefs are tasked to make 50 appetizers from Lionfish. 50. So we're going to have 250 little appetizers to pass around. If we have more than 250 people, I guess it's first come, first serve. So get there early, and if you want to have a taste of the appetizers. And then we're going to have the school children who win the poster contest. They're going to have a tent that the Ministry of Tourism is sponsoring with the winning posters and paintings displayed, and the children will be there because we want them to talk about why they cared about the environment and wanted to do poster competition and things. Then we're going to have an artist tent. Stephen Murphy of Zenny Arts is going to have a tent. He makes these beautiful metal lionfish out of scrap metal, and he's going to be on display. We're going to have a wine cafe. There's going to be obviously food and drink. There's going to be music. You can't have an Antigua Fete without music. And then there's going to be a mermaid cove. And this is a tent that's going to be decorated like under the sea. And we've got 3 little mermaids, one 6 years old, 9 years old, and 12-year-old, who will be dressed in their mermaid tails, and they will be in the mermaid cove to chat with people. One of them is very passionate about about the importance of lionfish and protecting the marine environment and not polluting and picking up plastic. And so she's going to be like a spokesperson there. I'm sure the other 2 little girls who are also passionate will be vocal too. So there's a lot going on in the actual the afternoon. So I hope everyone will come out and join in that event on the afternoon of November the 20th.
November the 20th. Now, with the school competition, how do one enter? How do your child or your son or daughters enter?
Okay, well, again, the Ministry of Tourism actually is helping with that, with Ministry of Education, and they've contacted all the art teachers, and they are getting children who are interested in all the schools, including private schools, to enter. And the deadline is, let's see, is the 11th, which is this Friday. So, and on our website, which is a very easy website, it's just AntiguaLionfish.com. So if you just type in AntiguaLionfish.com, the website will pop up, and then there's a link there to the school art contest with the basic rules, which are pretty simple. You can't put a name on the front because they don't want any judge to recognize that's my uncle's child or whatever. So everything has to be written on the back, the child's name and whatever, but it's all on the website. So you can have, if you haven't already motivated your child to paint, you should. It's still time. Well, there's only 4 days, but get busy.
Still time.
Yeah, and you deliver the paintings by 4 p.m. Friday afternoon to the Ministry of Tourism. And then a panel of judges the following week will be judging them. And again, as I mentioned, in the 3 age categories. And then the prize will be given for the 9, there'll be 9 prizes given for the first, second, and third in each age group. They will be presented on Friday, on Sunday afternoon at the Derby.
So basically, everything prize giving will be happening at the Derby.
At the Derby,
now,
all the prizes.
We have someone on Zoom. Let's check it out and see who's on Zoom. Let me say good morning. Okay, I guess they're not ready. Oh, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How is everything this morning?
Well, it's still early here, but it's good. It's very good.
All right. Well, Martha, tell us who we have here this morning.
This is Dr. Steve Gittens, who is the chief scientist of NOAA in the USA. And he's...
As in NOAA, as in Weather Channel, weather NOAA. Hurricane Hunter, tell us NOAA.
And Dr. Gittens is an expert, so he's going to...
Quick correction though, Martha. I'm not the chief scientist of NOAA. Martha, I'm the chief scientist of the Marine Sanctuary Program within NOAA. So not the Weather Service, not the Fisheries Service, but the Marine Protected Area group in NOAA.
Yes, sorry, right, yes.
All right, well, Doc, let's just ask this one simple question. What effect does the lionfish have on the marine environment?
Well, from what we've seen in some places, they have the potential, at least, of reducing the number of fish, the weight of fish in a given area by well more than half, even 70, 80% sometimes, if they're allowed to eat to their heart's content. But in a lot of places, it's not quite that bad. It all depends on where they are. But in any place that lionfish are, they have to eat. So, and they eat a lot. As Martha pointed out, they have a lot of different types of fish they eat, up to over 170 different types. So they're very, what we call generalists. They'll eat anything, and they eat a lot too. So they have an impact no matter where they are, if they're in any numbers at all. And they're highly reproductive. So they have a significant impact on any environment, and some much worse than others.
And if we allow them to breed and just multiply in numbers, how can that affect our food supply?
They eventually will. Right? They do two things. They affect the fish we care about, the ones we eat, the ones we want on our plates, snapper, grouper, etc., by eating the juveniles of those fish. So there's a delayed effect, but eventually those baby fish will not grow up to be adult fish that are able to be caught for consumption purposes. But they also affect many, many other species too, which could even be worse, a worse effect. They'll eat all the herbivores on the reef, the fish that keep the reefs clean. They'll eat all the fish that clean other species of fish, and that's a critical element of a reef. Fish have to constantly be cleaned by other fish. And when those cleaner fish are gone, you've lost a critical function that affects the health of all species of fish. So their effects are broad ranging, including affecting commercially important species.
Outside of fishing tournaments and derbies and other things that we will have to just hunt that particular type of fish, the lionfish itself, are there any other method or ways that we could do just to eradicate them?
In shallow water, those are by far the best methods because divers can take out lionfish so easily. They're quite easy to catch with spears. In deep water, we've been working on traps to create a more general and broad-ranging ability to remove fish from deep water. As Martha said, there do appear to be a lot of lionfish in deep water, whether they've moved there because they're avoiding hunters or that it's just natural for them to be down deep. We're not sure. But we do know there are a lot of lionfish down deep. They can go down 1,000 feet. And most of those commercial species that we like to catch are down 200 or 300 or 400 feet. Well, we know there are a lot of lionfish there. So we've got to think about how we're going to remove them from deep water. And traps are our best bet right now. We don't have any more sophisticated tools that we have. For example, genetics that might render lionfish unable to reproduce. We don't have sophisticated methods like that we think will work. So it's literally going to get them. And traps are one of our best options. There are traps now that, regular fish traps can catch lionfish, but we're working on specialized fish traps that only catch lionfish. And that's our hope for the future.
All right. And talking about traps and everything, Martha, I see you have something here with you this morning. Could you just explain?
Yes. In hunting lionfish, part of the problem is that some people don't know how to hunt them safely because they are venomous. They have spines on their back and different parts of their body. So the first thing is if a person is interested in lionfish hunting, you need to educate yourself on where the venomous fins are. Secondly, you need the proper equipment to hunt with. This is called a zookeeper. It's literally like a PVC plastic tube. And in Antigua, I know some of our fishermen have actually rigged up one of these out of a piece of pipe, which you can certainly do because these are not inexpensive and we don't have them in Antigua, so you have to import them. But the trick with this one is the top here, you can see it's got this flange it's one way so that the fish cannot get out. So basically what you do is you swim with this, and it's a bit bulky. I've swum with it. They do come in a smaller size, but this is a bit bulky to be dragging along either scuba diving or free diving. However, what you do is this is a lionfish pole, and it's very different to a spear gun. A spear gun is just a straight spear on the end. These have little edges that once you spear the lionfish, it can't get off because of this. And then it comes in two parts. I didn't bring the whole thing in. I was afraid your security might stop me at the door if I appeared with a big spear and think I had something against you. So,
No.
but so it screws together, so it's a much longer pole. And when you spear the lionfish, so you've got the lionfish on here, you shove this down into this area and it pulls off, and the lionfish is then contained and can't pierce your body or anything. I understand one of the Barbuda fishermen was using a regular spear gun, and the lionfish got off of that spear and punctured him, and he was very ill. So I was told that some fishermen in Barbuda don't want to mess with the lionfish. So, and you also, it's a good thing to have proper gloves. These are a special glove. The spines can pierce them, but it protects you a lot by wearing these kinds of gloves. So we will be doing 101 lionfish course during the Derby that anyone who's interested could attend about safety of lionfish spearing. So the key is to know what you're dealing with, and particularly in cleaning them too, because when you start cleaning them, you want it, the fins are very easy, the spines are very easy to cut off with just like scissors or pruning shears. I actually cleaned 9 myself yesterday. So it's easy to treat them, but you need to know what you're doing. You don't just go and do it.
All right, well, we're kind of out of time now, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell us about and to give thanks to all those who contributed to the Derby that's coming up next week. If you could, you mention Mill Reef, but I guess you have other folks that you've been working along with.
Yes, absolutely. There have been several donors. I know we don't have time to, there's a whole lot of people who have contributed to this. So, but those were our main donors. But what I would like to point out is that fishermen can join in, and initially we had a fee, but we've taken the fee away. It's free to join. It's free to go out and hunt. It's free to come into the dockyard. We literally are not charging anything. We're here not to make money on this. We're here to try to do an environmental effort to eradicate our lionfish. And so hopefully a lot of people will come out and hunt. You don't have to be a scuba diver. You can do it free diving too. So you can sign up on our website, which, as I mentioned, is just AntiguaLionfish.com. And if you for some reason don't have a computer, you're not computer literate, you can go to Ava Water Sports in English Harbor, which is right on the main road there, and sign up there. And so it's very easy to join in. But you do have to sign up and complete a liability release form just for our purposes.
No problem with that. So it's free to sign up, free to take part, free to do any of the activities. Just come out, enjoy yourself, have fun. Bring the family and children out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially on the Sunday.
Absolutely.
I know I'm going to be there, so I'm going to walk in my camera
we want
and everything.
you to come. We want everybody listening and more. Bring your family.
I want to be in the first 250.
Exactly. Are we able to bring in Megan on Zoom or not? Do we have time for that?
I don't think we have that connection with Megan as yet, so we'll just have to.
Oh, goodness. Oh, sorry we're missing her, because she's a great spokesman.
Oh, she's
but
driving.
hopefully you'll interview her during the event. So.
Well, yeah, as the time comes along, we'll go accordingly.
Exactly.
But thank you for being here, and thank you, Doc, for being here also. And listen, it's amazing. I'm excited about this because I know I love to chase the lionfish, so I will be there for sure.
Good. Well, we look forward to you joining us.
All right. Stay with us here, folks. We've got more coming up on Antigua Barbuda today. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.